10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Hello, Dota 2 fans, and welcome to our North American coverage of the ESL One Hamburg qualifiers. We've got Immortals versus Iceberg Esports. This is Brax and Clairvoyance's new squad with a couple young guns alongside them versus the household Korean Dota names, the MVP Phoenix now MRP Franz here. Third series of the day. Franz, how you feeling? I'm excited for this one.
Pretty good, dude. Excited for some hashtag NA Dota.
Amen.
Of course, we have the Immortals, the Korean squad. Happy to see them move to North America, although that does mean more competition, although I think things are exciting for NA Dota now. There's lots of competition, and can't count Iceberg out. I think they are some strong contenders. They have they have Brax, which is a very big name, but also some up-and-comers on their team.
Yep. Clairvoyance making a turn. Bryle certainly spotlighting hit. Helen just pub in general. Charlie, the player from Sweden. So definitely some talent on this Iceberg squad. And as you mentioned, Brax, he's kind of that cerebral, captain-like player. After his chair. So all day today in Europe, every single game we saw the Spirit Breaker Jakiro combo. Now Immortals pick it up. What is it about this opening?
They're two Spirit Breaker Jakiro, like they're two very difficult to kill heroes, especially when the enemy has a hero like Night Stalker, so Night Stalker suffers when he can't actually kill anyone on your team. Can't kill Spirit Breaker, you can't kill Jakiro. Those two heroes as supports, they just don't die at level 1. At least not 1v1, right? You need at least like 2 or 3 heroes on top of them. Spirit Breaker just charges away, or Jakiro also just slows you and runs away. And Spirit Breaker is also a hero that counteracts Night Stalker. And I don't want to say the hero is like low skill cap or something, because Spirit Breaker definitely does require some skill. Namely pressing 2 buttons, but he's like a simple counter to Night Stalker. Like,
right.
It's a very high, I want to call it a high percentage counter to Night Stalker. You see the Night Stalker, or you see him ganking, or you see a potential gank, you charge someone, and you're there immediately. And Night Stalker doesn't excel in situations where he has to like go 2v2 or 1v1 or 3v3, because the hero doesn't he doesn't have a stun, so like he can't do anything in those situations other than try to right-click people and slow them. So Spirit Breaker can counteract harassment that comes out of a Night Stalker. But Night Stalker does excel at one thing really well, which is mid and late game situations where vision is very important. That's the one thing that teams pick. He's kind of a mediocre position for. And so
can kind of thwart his early attempts at more. If manages to stay on the map and get a little bit of farm, he can be a very pivotal tool in towards the mid, especially versus a squad that may lack, as you mentioned, it characterized it has a little bit of brainless initiative, kind of blindly charging in with this and hoping to be able to see if Immortals shores up their avenues of initiation going forward. Now, you know, even if they're able to. Batrider ban, talking about vision coming out from the Immortals, and they're actually going to pick up the AA, so obviously counter to the Necrophos, stops all the as far as healing goes, and does add a little bit of global kill potential.
Yeah, that's a really cool pick, and it also makes Immortals very fast-paced, very early game oriented. All three of these heroes do pretty well in the early game. AA adds Chilling Touch, which adds so much kill potential to any lane. Spirit Breaker can acquire the target, Hero can slow them, so lots of kill potential coming out of Immortals' first three heroes.
Yeah, with that change, recent change, I mean, with that change to Ice Vortex, he does a lot more, buys enough.
It actually just it feels like a meme sometimes, you know, like you're trying to kill an AA as like a melee hero or as a hero, and he runs through it, gets sped up, and you run through it, gets slowed and sad, and like it can mean the difference between life and death sometimes.
Faceless Void.
Iceberg, they pick Shadow Shaman, which is like a really strong lane support. Probably one of the strongest lane supports. I mean, not only does he have Shackle, which helps heroes hit the target, but also he himself does 70 damage a hit, so it's quite difficult to trade hits with Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, a lot of Shadow Shaman, Veno, or the Lich to kind of scale up in MMR recently. They changed the trade well, and it feels like in pubs you can often find the farm get an Ags up. Just disgusting with the extra survivability of the wards or the splash damage. A lot. Very potent combo for the Immortal side in the more often than not, you know, if you're able to chrono up the Necrophos, there's nothing behind him, and you get the chill effect of the Ice Blast on the Necro before chrono ends, then his tool could be really.
There's more than enough burst for the Void this game as well.
Imba Spirit.
Something we see all that often here, like favor spell amplification on. Wasn't really one direct way to build this hero anymore. I think obviously the try and burst yourself early game into. It feels like, you know, I haven't seen this.
I think the one part of the game that defines Ember Spirit is when he hits level 8 and 9. I think at level 8 and 9 with level 4 Flame Guard, level 4 Chains, and at least 1 point in his ulti. He becomes like the strongest hero at that level, like by far, just the highest damage output for a hero at level 8, 9, 10. And so I think what they were going for on Iceberg is they're saying, hey, there's like a huge potential to actually just like beat the crap out of the Immortals lineup between that time. We have the Necrophos to help follow up on kills. We have Night Stalker to help locate the kills. We have Shadow Shaman to help push towers after the kills. And so, you know, Iceberg might be thinking, hey, let's exploit this timing window and try to stop the Immortals lineup from progressing past that point, so that instead of having a scenario where the Immortals are strong enough, where the Void's just free farming somewhere, Spirit Breaker and AA are looking for kills all over the map, let's just split them up and pick them off.
They are able to kind of back the timings of the Void. A little bit of a shortcoming in the one from great range who can
10 seconds remaining.
Once they get a pick or two, should
5 seconds remaining.
definitely later into the game, you know, if the Ember Spirit. See what else they got. So the Clinks up. That's more than interesting. Either the Necrophos offlane. In one.
That's an extremely North America flavor pick.
10 seconds
Glad we're
remaining.
back to North America Dota, but
I mean, with just a Deso
5
diffusal.
seconds remaining.
Lynx is also massive at the same, like he spikes at the same time that Ember Spirit spikes, which is after level 6, and so, I mean, North America is very special in that they're thinking about these timing windows a lot, kind of like similar to like RTS, like StarCraft 2 timings. They're thinking, hey, let's just be super strong at this point, but still draft like a way to end the game, but be strong at this point and try to carry it from there, like just win the game from then on, right? So when you pick a hero like Clinks, who I think Clinks is like a weaker late game hero this game. Like in some games, Clinks is a monster, like level 50 minutes plus, but this game he's definitely a bit weaker because there's just so much disable for him. So he has to be really careful.
What's the one early?
Well, Clinks generally
In the
wins his
queue,
lane
You may now select your heroes.
just because of the damage output. And so I think you win the Clinks lane, you make sure the Ember Spirit gets his levels, you make sure the Necrophos gets his levels, and then you try to fight and you try to make sure you win those first 2 fights and get those first 2 towers. And then from then on, the Spirit Breaker and the Void, they're going to have trouble getting stuff done. But Immortals, they pick up Medusa, and there's actually no way they can kill the Medusa easily this game. There's no like massive damage output. They don't have any mana burners. Generally, heroes that kill Medusa, they either burn mana or they hit her in a way can't fight back, like a bashing hero, or
10 seconds remaining.
a hero that can like disengage out of the stone gazes.
5 seconds.
We don't really have that this game. You have the Ember Spirit that can disengage easily, but he is not the kind of hero that forces mid. That was a really strong pick from Immortals.
Yeah, can kind of sit her in the front line. Words or not. This is kind of the hero they can at least buy themselves some time with, allow themselves to. Not your traditional kind of OD Terrorblade Clinks as far as contributor, but a decent solution, one that can overlap the stone. Interesting pick. We'll see how it ends up panning out. This is the first time I've seen Immortals under this banner.
I believe they played some games in the past couple of days, but certainly their first week or second
battle.
week on this banner and on North. So, a couple of TPs happening for too fancy going.
We're gonna run into Jabs. Jabs does have a sentry.
Look at that. Do you see the Shell Shaman? This is some Osfrog right-clicking going.
He being baited, however, into the dual breath. They have Febby nearby. Febby skilled at Bash, however, actually will end up getting the kill regardless. Well, rolling through with the Mystic Snake is able to find it.
I honestly don't blame Jabs for fucking chasing there. Like, you're doing that much damage to the AA, you're just having so much fun. You're like, huh? Eat this.
It feels good for sure up
You
until
just
that.
forget everything, you know. All you do is look at your hero and be like, why am I doing 74 damage a hit? And you keep going.
So it looks like they're going to be in an aggressive tri-lane configuration with the Bash early Febby. However, they did skill up the Ice Vortex as a Cold Feet or the Chilling Touch on, so that may hit their ability early going. End up faring it. It'll be against, you know, Clinks, who in general is fairly safe as a charge into Ice Path to be able to see how it ends up panning out for them. For now, sitting around the bottom, MP gonna take Rax boots first offlane next.
I assume the boots first was Dissipation to tri-lane. He'd probably rather have something like a Null Talisman against the Void just to help him lane better, but Necrophos should be fine in this lane. I don't imagine Void will die for the first couple of levels. If the Void doesn't manage his HP correctly, he'll definitely be in a little bit of trouble by the time Necro 4 or 5. Same goes for the Clinks. If the Clinks doesn't manage his HP correctly in the first couple of levels, I think MVP have a lot of kill potential on him. Medusa is like Medusa's similar to Viper as a mid. I call it like statue Dota. Like statue heroes are mid heroes that don't budge from the mid lane. Like they just don't work as rotators or gankers, so they just stay there, they last hit, and then they try to hit their timing. For Medusa, I think it's around quite late actually, like 10, 12, 14 minutes. Probably, if he makes a rotation, it's going to be with his team, and it's going to the enemy safe.
Not the most QO-esque hero. I often see this guy being the hero for his team. Flashy play. Medusa's definitely one he's going to have to make. See how they...
Phantom Assassin, right?
Yeah.
That's his hero.
For sure. We'll see how they're able to weather the storm of that, 8 to 12.
Ryle, a bit of an interesting starting item, so
The
I
battle
think
begins.
usually people start with a Barman shield first and then carry the Quelling Blade over, just so you take minimal amounts of damage early. He also doesn't have any tangos on him. Nobody pulled him tangos, so Stalker hopefully is coming in to do that right now. Yep.
But I mean, of all the matchups in the mid, often has so clairvoyance.
She can't break his flame guard, so that's the one thing bad for her. But I think she should do fine as long as she doesn't let the Ember damage her too much. Really doing, but as long as she doesn't dip too low when he hits like level 3 or 4, she won't die.
No.
Top lane. Braxton may have port inbound from Duke, but there is a Radiant Observer ward out at his rotation. Brax doesn't really feel bash out on. A little bit of trading in this. Febby still no charge. Meantime, QO does end up going down here mid start for clairvoyance on the Night Stalker as well.
I think he probably took a little bit too much damage mid, and also the Night Stalker gank probably finished the LN. A little bit of action happening bottom. The Spirit Breaker might go down here.
Low though from the rest of Ice Bay, and for out a little bit lacking in the regen department though. Just does now get the charge, so maybe can make his way back. Charge out. Snag that away. Jab sitting on a skill point here as well. Charge going out towards mid lane. Ryle does have the flame guard up. It's going to expire here shortly. Now he could be in a lot of trouble. Mystic Snake flies out just as the flame expires. Find the return finally. Meanwhile though, Brax at top lane. No bash skill, but he did have the time dilations. Down with the extra.
This is a really strong lane matchup for Immortals. Void's Void's naturally really good at trading hits and strike like people in general, and when you add that with Chilling Touch, it's quite a dangerous combination, especially since the Necrophos can't actually trade hits with the Void. The Necro uses his nuke and then the Void just time walks it off. Quite a favorable matchup for Immortals, and I guess that's also the reason why they can afford to have their Spirit Breaker bottom hero. They're trying to lock up the Shadow Shaman and Stalker.
Jabs, but Jabs too low on mana. Carly even real aggressive potential Febby against Febby now. Back in the Jabs could be an. Actually, the charge as well. This could be a little bit. Oh, the lucky bash for Febby, and he doesn't actually garner tower aggro either. Forev coming through with the dual breath will allow him to back out with the empowering haste active. Brack's going to be forced to pop that Ghost Shroud top lane. Couple of sequence events here favoring Immortal side. Meanwhile, QO forced to pop the Mana Shield mid lane, and the tower aggroing onto Bryle. He does get QO first. QO will get some return gold there. Experience going the way.
big fan of the no back down mid play there. Just saw a kill and went for it. And down bottom, classic Spirit Breaker 17% finishing off the Shadow Shaman. I don't think that kill would have happened without that. So
agreed. It did seem a bit brazen, him diving under the tower there. There was support there from Charlie. Nevertheless, you have to play Spirit Breaker, assuming you're gonna get a bash. Bevy, lucky enough to get one there. Charging out a base here, more than likely. He'll finish it off. Much more aggression to be had. He gets the bash again on Jabs. Forev not quite in range for the dual breath just yet. We'll throw that out on Charlie. Meanwhile, rotation in. First nighttime from Clairvoyance. He is level 2, nearing the level 3 mark, but can't really afford to wait for it. Charges out there with the shackle. Does find Febby. Febby, again, very tanky here. Jabs will catch the dual breath. Does have 6 stick charges, so should be fine for now. Not be able to net themselves a kill. Top lane, Dime Dilation goes out. With the Ghost Shroud slow, we'll be able to keep MP back long enough. Bryle going in mid lane. Charged up QO, standing his ground and fighting here. Bryle does have his ultimate skilled up, so should survive this. Mystic Snake coming through. Nice sleight of fist. Perfectly timed. And now the Searing Chains may even net him a kill here on Febby. He has the Spirit Remnant Bomb, I should say, and is able to finish him off. A nice kill there, and safe, knowing that the Mystic Snake was already expended, allows him to get aggressive back on that re. What a sleight of fist.
They also killed the Jakira bottom, so that puts Clinks in a really good position. Clinks has a Soul Ring, he still has a Cell from the start of the game, so realistically they're not going to be able to harass this Clinks out of the lane anytime soon. And now Iceberg are in sort of a good position because their Ember Spirit's strong, and Medusa's relatively weak for this stage, or at least she's a little bit hurt, and so there's a lot of rotation potential from Night Stalker and the Shadow Shaman if they decide.
1.5 minutes time, but it's Immortals actually the team. There's a lot of vision for the race. Be a bit of a false positive, but it actually gives them vision on Febby. They get the Icy Vortex off. Jabs could be in trouble, just has the shackle, so he is more than likely gonna fall here. No Hex. Get him at a distance and
mid.
Brought down lane. Duo in trouble. Does get the kill off onto the Night Stalker, but Bryle once again should be able to find this. Actually misses the Searing Chains at the end, but has the Arcane Rune, so really not feeling all that terrible about it. MP rotating through, gets the Chronosphere off. They have the charge from the south side as well. Oh, and it's just canceled by the Searing Chains. Can Bryle make it out of this one? He has no mana. Time Dilation will slow him. Sleight of Fist is there, but it should only delay the inevitable. And Febby's Orb of Venom tick will finish him off. Now Dubu in trouble. Clairvoyance chasing forward. Gets charged up though. Dubu into the fog. Now the Night Stalker bashed by MP. Oh, Clairvoyance. Taking out double kill for the Spirit Breaker.
Bashed. That's all I have to say.
And that is the strat from Immortals apparently. Get a bash on the Spirit Breaker or get a bash on the Void. Get kill, win engagement. Nicely played by them.
Frank's doing what he can in the top lane, doing some creep management there to cut the wave and get the creep wave onto the tower, so that safe lane tower should take a lot of damage. No one on Immortals is really in a position to defend it, but what can you do? You just killed their mid hero, you killed their... That's the price they pay for those two. Immortals will look to bottom to send their Void.
They got to be pretty happy about Medusa despite dying still. Highest level in the game, at least. They do expend Chrono, though.
And Chrono is down, but they can actually put some harassment on tower. I mean, Clinks' strength doesn't really kick in until he has his ult. Because for his ult, he's quite squishy. So if they just put 3 heroes on top of him, but if he has Dark Death Pact on, what is it called now? It's still Death Pact. When he has that on, he's got like 1.4 or 1. He'll be good to go from then on. Quite close to. It's generic enough that you don't have. I mean, there's no wind walk. It's skeleton
Well,
walk.
we changed Frost Nova to Frost Blast. Either way.
But the thing is, like, all of the just quick, like Frost Blast, Frost Nova, like that's because the Lich hero like casts. Frost
Literally
Nova.
it.
There's some very similar stuff going on there, but Clinks was never actually a Blizzard IP, from as far as I know.
Yes, fair.
Barl doing really well in the mid lane, is pretty much the same level as Medusa as soon as he kills. Pretty much going neck to neck the Medusa net worth as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna put a little pressure on this bottom lane. Level Liquid Fire will facilitate. Clinks with no safe way. Thymia. Soak up some experience, gets his Shadow Walk off, and has the Soul Ring. So can Soul Ring
Radiant's bottom tower
grab a creep and maybe look to mount a defense? You have some vision up to the north, so they should have seen Febby rotating through. Now the charge coming through. His Clairvoyance will get caught with it. MP jumping forward with the time dilation. They're going straight in onto the Clinks. He's going to force MP to time walk out to the north. And now the Shackle coming through, but Febby just too tanky. They can't turn onto him. And MP takes out the Clinks with his Shadow Walk down. Jab's in trouble as well. It's Clairvoyance. He's the third to fall. Triple kill for Febby after getting a double kill not too long ago. 7-1 and 2 on the Spirit Breaker. And we do not see Bryle Ember Spirit contribute at all to this fight, as he was fairly low, 50% there in the mid lane. So perhaps just a bit of unfortunate timing for Iceberg. But Immortals take a big win.
As soon as those heroes get on top of Clinks, there's not much you can do. I mean, they're just bashing the crap out of everything on site for Immortals. Brax, he also doesn't want to leave his lane because he's got a nice amount of farm. In fact, no one's really been up here for the last couple of them, so he hits a very nice level 7. Bryle, on the other hand, I think if he had a TP, he might have been able to turn that fight for Iceberg. I mean, they were the Clinks like barely died. I think if Clinks got like 3 or 4 more hits, definitely would have killed at least 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, they forced MP to time walk down and walk back up the stairs. On definitely felt like a series. Either way, it looked like Bryle had just happened to trade with him at the time. Fight. 4Ev gonna join up with QO mid lane. It looks like they're gonna mount a defense from the Radiant side. Clairvoyance rotating in, but it is daytime, so a bit innocuous is this Night Stalker. They will charge forward, try and find Clairvoyance. There's no Nether Strike just yet, level 5 on the Spirit Breaker. Jump forward, they will catch 2 with the Searing Chains. Reaper Scythe is there as well, and 4Ev will end up dropping. Bryle, though, the one to pick up the kill. QO with the Stone Gaze is able to make it back out to safety. Has 13 stick charges as well, if need be. MP rotating around, has a Chronosphere available. Maybe looking for Charlie, but does need a little bit of help to find this kill. And AA, meanwhile, Dubu that is, up in the top lane, looking to find his level 6 and just gets it now. So there is solo kill potential for MP across the map. Brax could be the one to catch the brunt of it. Jump forward, they are going to find the Chrono. The Ice Blast going to fly through under Ghost Shroud. He can't get right click, but he also can't heal. And Dubu going to contribute towards that kill. Dubu will end up falling more than likely here top lane as Bryle aggresses upon him with Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance able to TP well, but still the more worthy kill going the way of Immortals and the tier 1 tower mid lane. Prize.
So that's a really big tower for mid lane.
Void gonna cancel the charge onto Febby. Jabs may be in trouble here, looking for the bash. They don't get one just yet, but they don't even need it. They will finish him off. Now Spirit Breaker veiled up. Takes a lot of damage, but gets the Nether Strike off. Bryle does have a defensive spirit, but he gets bashed. He'll barely make it back, but the Urn will finish him off. Now the Ice Blast flying through. Ghost Shroud once again there for Brax. He cannot heal. Has 10 stick charges once that chilling effect expires, so he will be just... as they don't want to quite go full MVP style. Jump up to the high ground, but take a lot in this... does the Immortal.
Immortals are obviously in a really good position here. I think they got exactly the 2 towers they wanted. They got the mid tower and the enemy safe lane tower, which opens up the enemy jungle, because they can now... Immortals can now play on the bottom half of the map safely. That way they don't have to be afraid of sort of getting picked off by the Night Stalker and the Embers. At most they can send one hero top, push it out, and then quickly return to the bottom half of the map. But the bottom half of the map is where all the objectives are, because you're taking away the jungle from the team, you're farming it for yourself, and then you also have access to mid and bottom tier 2, which they can take easily by sieging it.
Yeah, the early death on... Well, we just haven't felt his impact yet in the game since picking up that death pact. He has really not much in the way of item progression. Soul Ring, Aquila doesn't have a set of treads at this point. Mentioned some deep vision going to facilitate aggression here. Brax in trouble. Dubu in pretty much point blank range for this ice blast. And they will proc the cold feet as well. They got a lot of magic damage coming through from Forev. This triumvirate of heroes just may be able to kill Brax off. They get him in time. They're going to pay dearly. But that just means that their other two cores are farming while they kill off this high-value Necrophos. Not sure it's quite worth the death of all three of these heroes. But regardless, still cause for concern. MP going to jump forward with a time dilation. Maybe allows Forev to get out here. He has a dual breath. Oh, negative earn tick, though. May just... Yeah, and it will. Try for the TP out. Makes it? Wow. Just in the nick of time for dead to rights there, but not quite the case. Charlie stalking here on MP, but they really have no other follow-up other than the Clinks. Very hard for them to undetected.
AA is actually doing a ton of work to this Necrophos. The Necrophos had like 15 wand charges there, but couldn't pop it. Definitely if he wasn't affected by AL, the Necro would have been more than a lot.
Charged by Febi with Axe top lane. Just watching the movements of his Spirit Breaker here as QO continues top lane. We do get the tower denied. Brax nicely done by him. Regardless, the map beginning to shrink. It's whenever you're playing with a Clinks, you do want to be able to kind of assist him in his game without any map controller. Smoke pop by Charlie's Clinks. They got down the sentry ward. They will find the Clinks here on the back lines. Looking for Bryle first, though. They have the Chronosphere available. Time dilation comes out. Chilling effect goes through Bryle. He will be able to make it back out, but the Chrono has caught Charlie in the meantime. Can they bring down the Clinks? It doesn't seem like that's the case. They do get the Ember Spirit, however. So a big kill going their way nonetheless. Dubu on point with his Ice Blast thus far. Duo already pushing in the bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So Immortals in a really comfortable position to just take this tower. They have Medusa to hit it safely, Jakiro for the Liquefier. You see, like, this is the kind of game that Jakiro excels in. They don't level max dual breath for fighting and max liquid fire for tower pushing. But as I say, that Iceberg's moving in.
No mana for the Stone Gaze just yet. Needs that Mystic Snake to return, and now gets it off. Bryle could be in a little bit of trouble. Takes a second to turn. Ice Blast going to fly through as well. Hits onto 3. The Reaper Scythe does kill off the Spirit Breaker in the meantime. QO still standing forward. He is going to get aggressed on, and they have nothing now to disable Iceberg as they take out the Medusa. Everyone looking for the TP out. Macropyre pop by Forev. He's going to try and get a kill onto Clairvoyance on his way out as he's going to drop. Charlie finds the kill there. MP in trouble. Has a Shadow Blade. Get it off. Safety, however. Good stance in this bottom lane by the Iceberg squad. They take a big swing. Almost 1,500 net worth. 1,000 net experience.
I lied when I said it was a good time for Immortals to push the tower. But they definitely could have done it a little bit more safely. I think they overextended. I think the plan there should have been just to force Iceberg back and then maybe use the Stone Gaze to protect your escape. Instead they end up under this without Chronos.
Yeah, committing without Chronos. Still in a good position here. Bryle, though, he sells his way up to the top of the net worth and does have his boots travel now, so can kind of deal with the Medusa pushing lanes in and contribute to fights thereafter. Well, Charlie, some aggression here. He's not going to kill MP's Void without help. That's, but Dubu can certainly be a has a sentry on his mindful of back out to the north, pop his skeleton. Meanwhile, though, Immortals just farming.
Courier snipe.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Klinks wasn't necessarily looking for a kill there. I think he was just scouting first. He wanted to farm those camps, but saw some here. Not against. Instead, though, the ward spots a courier. He gets a courier kill. Not too bad. The Immortals are just playing in the enemy jungle, as I mentioned before. This is like the place to be for them.
Boarded with a tower here. Berg with the Chronosphere available. Not have any defending that bottom lane, and they'll make their way up to the north side of the map.
It's very NA Dota to play in the enemy jungle. Plant yourself there, and it's kind of there's two things. First of all, you like get to keep the enemy out of the jungle, but also if the enemy rotates to their side of the map to gank you, it makes it less likely that they can get an objective because they have to walk back across.
Just near eclipsing the rotation back from Immortal. Distraction of Iceberg. Now smoke onto smoke. They are going to find the Night Stalker. Do they have the sentry? They do. Dual Breath gets off onto Clairvoyance. MP is nearby. Not going to expend the Chronosphere. It looks like they'll just take the Night Stalker kill here. He sticks up though. Negative earn tick just short of killing off Clairvoyance. He goes home.
Dire's bottom tower is under
But no Chronosphere expended by Immortals.
structures are fortified.
Just a volley of either side. Pushing in bottom lane with their Ember Spirit. Has his Boots of Travel and the Blink ready. Well, this could be a bit of a fight-turning item. We'll see. He's able to get done. But MP under the cover of Shadowblade looking for something here. They just find this Clink. Walks uphill. It is daytime now. Still, though, the Dire do not see the Clink having this ward. Start to beat on the mid lane tower with Forev's Jakiro.
Ember Spirit has his blink, as you mentioned, so he's going to be targeting one of the supports from Immortals for the rest of the fight. Klinks is going to be taking the other. Realistically, Iceberg, they don't have a way to save whoever's in the chrono, so they just have to be able to fight around it and hope that...
Jump forward. He's going to find a two-man Searing Chains. Reaper Scythe will be there. Instantly, they find 2 kills. However, it's a lot of damage done on the mid lane tower, and the off lane tier 2 is taken
Top tower is under attack.
I
by...
say hope that they stop the Void from chronoing before the chrono happens. Did that. I mean, that was an impressive initiation.
Dire's middle tower is
The
under
instant chains into
Dire's structures are
blink
fortified.
Reaper Scythe from Necro. Quite a well executed gank there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Look for the mid lane tower. Charged through to by Febby. He gets chained though and silenced up before he can get the Nether Strike off. Taking a lot of damage right now, but the Macropyre looks like it will keep Brax back. Ice Blast gonna fly through from Dubu. Connects onto Brax. Do they have anything more? MP still on the sidelines for 7 seconds. They want to chase forward though. Charge is there. Little bit more damage needed and he will shatter. Now Bryle jumping forward, trying to find the kill on the Spirit Breaker. The Glimmer Cape keeping him alive. Earn Tick is there as well. Now Clairvoyance in trouble. He's gonna get Liquid fired up and they need to be careful not to re-engage, does Iceberg, as MP joining the fray with his Shadowblade. Double kill goes the way of QO's Medusa. Off the back of what was a really good engagement for Iceberg, they perhaps overstay their welcome in that mid lane. We get punished for it.
Immortals definitely saw an opening to kill the next post there. We have more than enough damage to kill like, a single target, so they went for it. And now they get Roche, they still have Chronosphere, which means they have Aegis and all of their teamfight potential packed for a potential big
To the Dire. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
MP with the blink.
Time is money.
Really just playing kind of the control role. Plethora of damage.
Iceberg can't actually kill this Medusa.
Is under attack.
In fact, I think they're hard pressed to kill him once. They might kill Jakiro though. I mean,
Charlie does have the Desolate. Pretty well. They'll grab the tower up first things foremost.
Has fallen.
find a re-engagement. They will find Brax here. Ice Blast going to fly out. Chrono onto 2. The Ice Blast only connects onto the Night Stalker. Do they have enough to bring down Clairvoyance? He will fly over the hill. Will not shatter, but they get the Shadow Shaman and the Necrophos in the meantime. So kind of a zoning Chrono, if you will. It does net them a support, but it also leaves Brax out. Rest of the lineup can deal.
A bit of miscommunication there.
Dire's bottom tower
The
is
Night
under
Stalker
attack.
wanting to go on the Jakiro, but the Clinks is like, hey, I just want the tower, let's get out, like the whole Immortals. And so Brax also blinks in
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Hero, and they get punished for it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bot lane.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Charlie gonna be found out by Febby, and
Bash.
needs the bash, won't get it this time. Balance out the luck in the early game. Meanwhile, Dubu gonna drop to the Ember Spirit. Expect that to happen a couple of times a game. It does seem like he bought out beforehand, or maybe it was.
Yeah, you can look at his net worth and then so press U and look at his GPM and be like, something doesn't match. So he's actually just bleeding gold or being all on support item.
Top lane. Bryle has a
He has to land it.
lot of units. Just in the nick. Safety. 4 FTPs in, no smoke on his person. They do have, of course, the Shadow Blade. And
It's like probably won't get anything done with his Aegis unless a big fight happens.
top a dual breath top lane. Path is there as well. Can they engage on this Ember Spirit? MP nearby under the cover of Shadowblade will go for the first hit bash. Does not get it. Time walks forward. Gets the second hit bash though. Do they have enough to follow it up? There's the Nether Strike. Clairvoyance will be the kind of sacrificial lamb for his squad. Everyone else will be able to extract themselves from the top lane. Meanwhile, bottom, Charlie TP's out on Blinks. Perhaps QO. Didn't expend the stone game. The kill on the Night Stalker. Nothing really expended though.
While picks up an Arcane Rune on Ember that could be big for the next. Ember Spirit's one of the heroes that makes best use of an Arcane Rune. The other ones like Zeus and Wind.
Have a dust on the Spirit Breaker as well. Jump forward, perfectly placed Chrono by MP. With the Ice Blast flying through, it's just shy of connecting on a Charlie. They should still get the kill though, and they will. The gold going the way of Dubu. Bonus for the Ancient Apparition. That's the strat, right? Just draft as many bashes as you can.
25% bash chance on time lock as a lie. It's like 80%. But mid, where I'm going down here.
They are going to find the Jakiro. That's Reaper Sight down though. So really, is Immortals
Also
deterred bottom lane? Continue here. At least half the HP of that tier 3 down. Play it safe and back out. Blink's going to respawn shortly. Chronosphere.
Febby just being as tanky as possible on Spirit Breaker. He's got a hood and a Glimmer Cape. 52% passive magic resist. Also,
2 bashes off the bat for MP. Clairvoyance not get caught with the Ice Blast, but matter.
I'm telling you, the tooltip is actually lying to you. There's no way it's 25%.
Feels good, man. If your MP does go
Unless
no
your name-
damage items, get all the bashes.
Unless your name is Charlie Yang and you're playing Faceless Void to complete the bash quest in my party, you blink into the enemy team to try to bash them and die 3 times in a row and make the game.
Feel like you speak from experience.
Sorry, Charlie.
Got the extra attack speed from the Shadow Blade, you know.
Do they have vision of this? Dusa? The Dusa was potentially like killable twice there, or once, because there were 4 heroes parked on top.
Did see 4 FTPing in, maybe dissuading them from pressing
I
forward.
lied, actually. There's no way it's a kill. He's next to a shrine. This is the kind of game that Klink suffers in. He doesn't want to make moves. His team can't make moves. He can't really solo kill anyone without risking his
Dire's courier has been
pull up
killed.
on team. But he can kill
Radiant's
couriers, which
middle
is
tower
nice.
is under attack.
He was like, I don't care about my courier. I only care tier 3s.
Yeah, Solar Crest positive buff there from Forev behind. Whoa, he'll manta up, and now Brax is actually in trouble here. The right clicks are monumental from QO despite having the split shot up. Charge into the backlines coming through from the Spirit Breaker. Ice Blast will not connect
Dire's top tower
on anyone, but they do get the tier 3 in the meantime. QO still feeling fairly healthy, still has 17 stick charges on him. We'll get hexed up here. They're going to jump forward. They get the Shackle off and the Reaper Scythe. It's not enough to kill QO, not even close. And they get the Stone Gaze off as well. Connects onto 3 heroes, essentially. Shrine is going to be used here. Bryle in trouble. Is going to be brought down. QO still standing. May just drop and does. They're going to find a buyback here on the Shadow Shaman. Febby under the cover of Glimmer Cape. No charge available. Is going to end up dropping. Dubu able to TP out. In the meantime, Klink's doing Klink's things. There is a lane of racks missing top for the Immortals side.
Also, the Shadow Shaman War is expended for that. So, I mean, that actually swings the net worth back to pretty much even. So, Iceberg in a much better position 2 minutes ago. Could actually come back into this. I mean, the Klink's almost has his BKB, which should make the game a lot easier. Klink's doesn't have a lot of damage items right now, but certainly with the BKB he can survive enough that he can help his team take down the Void or help like any of the heroes other than the last target.
Time is money.
But the kind of fight that Iceberg are looking for right now is the one where they burst down the Void immediately, and then they take out the other 3 Immortals heroes and then deal with them. Now that they don't have to deal with the top lane like split pushing it naturally, they can actually group up and look for kills on those a lot more easily.
Expensive item. Initiation-oriented items, and which will give him solo kill potential with Blast on the Klink hereafter, but top lane. Just fine it being nighttime to roam around this area of the map.
Shaman, I think.
Dire's bottom
Shock
tower
is there.
under attack.
Charge just yet,
Watch
needs
the
a bash, and he gets
There you
it.
go.
80% confirmed. Ice Blast flying through will connect onto the Klinks. He's going to pop the strafe. MP gets the blink off to the north side, and they dumbfounded. The scan just shy of him.
Dire's bottom
That was
shrine
4
is
hits in
under
one
attack.
bash, so I'll let that one slide out.
It was the 3rd hit, though, I think. But either way.
Yeah, out of 4 hits, that's 25%, 80%.
%25 of the time, it worked.
Hell yes.
Manta Style and Boots of Travel up for QO. They don't want to be susceptible to push any top lane. Naturally push MP. Does have a Chronosphere available. Will catch Clairvoyance briefly, but they'll just do a little bit of dewarding. Playing it safe. Both teams rendered a little bit blind right now as far as ward vision goes. Radiant do have this Cliff Ward, though, that will scout out the movement just for the time being.
Immortals, they
Radiant's
can
top shrine is under attack.
group up for the top lane. Their 2 lanes in mid and bot are equal positions. I mean, they do have to worry about the split push. Shadow Shaman looks like he wants to go down bottom at least.
Radiant's top shrine has
Realistic-
Couple heroes mid, too.
Realistically, Iceberg,
fallen. Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
they are
Dire's
less
turret
favored to win.
has been killed.
Brax, they've got vision on him. He's been charged up despite blinking over to the east. He does have some heroes nearby, however, and gets the Yules off on the Spirit Breaker. Ice Blast gonna fly out. Is it gonna catch? It doesn't seem to on the Brax Necrophos, but they have the Diffusal Blade, so it should be a kill on Brax. They will find him. Everyone else trying to just get out. Silent Stop was QO. Charge queued up on Bryle. They will get the slight chains onto the Spirit Breaker. In the meantime, Clinks does pick off the AA, a bit of a consolation prize for his squad as Clairvoyance goes down as well. So Necrophos and the Night Stalker are going to go down, but it does kind of feel like Iceberg successfully dragging Immortals around the map. There's no objective for them to take off the back of these two. As I utter those words, Roshan spawns, so maybe I'll have to eat him. QO TPing in towards.
Jabs on the right side of the map playing Tom Clancy's Split Push Simulator. Is he gonna do it? They saw him! But he TP's out.
Charged. Solar Crest, easy Roche attempt here for the Immortal side. So getting those kills with the Chrono well worth. QO will pick up an 8.
Royals stuck split push. I don't think they can take a fight against Immortals when they have the Aegis, so Iceberg, they have to split up Immortals as much as possible, maybe try to do what they did in top lane, like rat out Arax, or at least split up the Immortals team so they're not grouped up.
Bryle going in for a kill on Dubu, bottom lane. Charge queued up already, and he will just back out. Forces the Shrine. Big cooldown there.
Connect, though.
Forward, but he's quite a ways away towards the top lane. There is a remnant by, though. Pinging the area. Radiant has vision, though, of 4F. Bryle get greedy and want to go for this Jakir.
It's a really low percentage, but I think it's worth a shot for them. I mean, an Ember kill, if the Ember doesn't have buyout, directly translates. They're gonna... MP's at least gonna park himself there to see what happens. You have a pause, Brex. The one thing that Iceberg have a problem with right now is actually being able to take a fight. It's not easy because Immortals, they have the Medusa to frontline for them. So there's really nothing Iceberg can do about the Medusa. They have to target the Void first. Night Stalker, like you'd think Night Stalker and Shadow Shaman, like together, they could locate the Void and burst him down, but the Shadow Shaman doesn't have a blink, so they don't have that option. Really, Void's difficult enough to kill already because Hero and Spirit Breaker ready to counter initiate.
Got the Shadow Blade as well. There's no jet. It's a very tall order to fulfill for them. However, there is an Aghanim Scepter on the Necrophos. Did he actually remnant back bottom lane?
No, he I got juked out. He remnanted somewhere else on the map to kill.
So went to.
So it went down, and then
First,
MP like
yeah.
flinched for a second, and it was all over. I
Keep him
flinched
on
as
his
well.
heels, on his toes.
I was spamming my R button. Chrono. I wonder if you can. I don't think you can chrono. Traveling across. Probably not. Actually, absolutely not.
Bell is OP.
Preemptively placed it there.
Charlie does have a BKB, but with this Blink, Aghanim Scepter, Reaper Scythe from Brax, it really does feel like they're just trying to look for a pick. Charlie beating into the Shrine, but QO beating into the more important building. That's the melee racks in the mid lane. And no, there is a glyph available for the Radiant. They'll pop it now. Spirit Breaker charge going to come through. Jump forward. Chronosphere is going to find one. It's going to be the Necrophos. Ice Blast flying through. Brax may just be left for dead here. He gets the Yules off, but should end up dying. MP taking a lot of damage under this Orchid. Slight Chains is there with the Spirit. Do they have enough to bring him down? They do not with the Stone Gaze there from QO. He should be able to bring down the Shadow Shaman easily. Jabs will end up falling here. The melee rack soon to fall as well. Bryle, he's been pushed back. And no casualties just yet from Immortals. They expend the Chronosphere and the Stone Gaze. Ice Path will not quite connect on these two cores. Charlie forced to pop his BKB, but he gets bashed up by the Spirit Breaker. Void is there as well. Forced to buy out. No BKB available. No Death Pack buff on Charlie. And he's going to feel a little bit ineffective without those two abilities. Now Bryle trying to make it away, will be dropped down, and in pure MVP Phoenix style, Immortals will make their way up into the fountain. Charlie looks for a flank on the back and finds a double kill as the Spirit Breaker and Dubu AA go down. But back to objective gaming. Immortals will go. Bryle jumping forward. QO still has Aegis here. It's almost like they want to let it expire, but by that time it feels like their buildings could be in a lot of trouble. Jump forward. Hex is going to find the Faceless Void. MP does end up going down, and maybe now they can chase forward for more. Bryle jumping forward. Chains in 1 second for Ev. Underneath the wave here. Oh, misses the chains for Bryle, but will end up dying more than likely. He gets Yule's up. Looks like he'll be brought down. They'll wait for the Reaper Scythe, as it is an Aghanims one. His dominating streak will be ended. However, they get the melee racks mid lane. They get the melee racks bot lane as well.
That makes Immortals a lot more comfortable when it comes to... They have 2 less lanes to worry about, so now all they have to do is push down top lane when their other 2 lanes are in a nice position. Hopefully go for the 3rd set of racks or 5th. You just see how much difficulty Iceberg have taking down this. There's really no answers. Unless the Clink somehow get 5 or 6 slotted and then power, but that doesn't look likely. I think Immortals will continue to push their back. Especially since they have all of their ultimates up. They're all coming up.
So with Darkness popped, Iceberg trying to make one last move. They got the charge off onto Brax, but QO, he's a little bit out by his lonesome. Dubu is nearby, however. He'll pop the Stone Gaze and the Manta Ice Blast going to fly through. Connects onto Brax, so Brax absolutely forced to buy back. Charge is going to come through almost as he lands, but they hit a 2-man slight. Searing Chains, and Charlie doing some damage from the low ground, but not enough. It looked like he was missing a couple of times onto Febby, and just a right clicks with the Scotty slow from QO, keeping them from bringing her down. Now a charge forward onto Brax. Brax is low on mana. He can't pop the Reaper Scythe to keep in fighting shape. Now Jab's in trouble as well. Gets right-clicked down. Glimmer Cape going to keep the Spirit Breaker safe. They whip the Chrono on MP, but he's still pressing forward regardless. Should be able to bring down the Night Stalker. QO going to join his comrades shortly. Bryle looking for the TP out. Did he leave a Remnant down? He doesn't, actually, so he can't continue to contribute to this fight thereafter. They get the Time Dilation off onto Clairvoyance, but he's a little bit too fast. MP doing a little bit of a ring around the rosy with the Night Stalker. Will get juked out. Brax actually survives as well, but still just so impossible. QO almost completely out by himself. The Spirit Breaker, the only one to come through, and they're just unable to find any on the Immortal side. Any consequential kills, anyway. Do get the 2 support.
They do get a... I think the net worth deficit before was like 7 or 8k, and then it's down to 12. So Iceberg, they keep themselves in the game despite being two Rexes down. I think it's still very possible for them to win, especially because the Void doesn't really have a BKB or a Lincoln, so it's still very possible to force them.
Charlie pops his BKB, gets the skeleton off, and has a gem on his person, but not the most mobile of heroes.
Time to run, they say.
Under the cover of Shadow Blade, but no.
The faceless man is running at me. Time to run.
But he can't even stare at you.
Medusa is like naturally very good against Necropos because her effective HP isn't to her H pool.
Right.
So the Reaper Scythe doesn't work as well against her.
Jabs. Brought down.
Her mana pool is so insane with Scotty and Manta style, like pretty much never going to be a good chance for Brax to...
Oh, Courier is going to be brought down here by QO. He's going to start beating on the tier 3. Yeah, MP is going to get flanked. Now QO can kind of just be ignored here. Icepat's going to fly through, connects onto Brax. Can they bring him down is the question. Forev gets the liquid fire off. Buyback going to come out from MP, and they want to look to end the game now. Down into the Ice Path will go Brax. Brax will be brought down. MP TP's in towards mid lane, still has a Chronosphere available. These two heroes on the sidelines for the Radiant. One to spawn in 9 seconds, the other with buyback available. And it feels like they have to expend this shortly. Bryle jumping up forward, needs to be careful as MP is rejoining the fray now under the cover of Shadowblade. Forev looking for the Ice Path. Bryle nearby. They are starting to group up for a Chrono. MP looking to jump forward. He actually jumps back as the buyback expended by Brax here. Bryle gonna catch one. That's MP. He gets Reaper Scythed up. It's gonna bring him real low, but he time walks off most of the damage. Ice Path gonna connect onto 3. QO going to work here. Brax forced to reuse himself defensively. A little bit out in no man's land. Now they'll take out jabs first. MP in a little bit of trouble. Tries to back out. Ice Path will catch Brax though, and with the Diffusal Blade, they should be able to kill him off. He's pretty much out of mana. QO in the meantime takes out the Night Stalker. Brax Necrolite is gonna go down. And it looks like Immortals should have this one. Chronosphere is going to find 2. MP forced to back off, but they take out the Rax in the meantime. Just 1 range Rax left standing. QO going to right-click into Bryle, try and keep Forev safe for now. Charlie from the high ground right-clicks into the Jakiro. He's a little too tanky, though. MP still surviving. QO up on the high ground all by his lonesome. Bryle does end up getting the kill on the Jakiro. Looks like MP able to make it out to safety, and QO will simply stand his ground against the wards, against 2 heroes. 1 left, and good game is called. Bryle gonna go for the feel-good morale kill at the end of this one, but that's all it will be, as Immortals in 42 minutes with 44 kills take this off the back of that QO Medusa. Some good Chronospheres early on. Really good play from Dubu on the Ancient Apparition as well. Well drafted from.
Yeah, it looked like Iceberg were trading pretty evenly with Immortals, at least for the first minutes. You know, there were kills on the Dusa, they were getting kills elsewhere. But then where Immortals' lineup really shined was from that 10-minute mark where they took